A huge shout out today as we get started to my friend Cam Milson, a middle school teacher in California who has very graciously shared her super awesome power strategy to help increase all of our writing awesomeness. Okay, so the acronym POWER that Cam shared with me will help guide you through the process. Whether you're doing creative writing or, research or argument papers, it really doesn't matter because the POWER path is awesome no matter what you're doing. So P is for plan. So you have to have a plan before you begin writing. You've got to know what's your point, who's your audience, what tone's going to be effective. You need to brainstorm out ideas that are going to reach that audience and then do some research so you know what in the world it is that you're talking about. It drives me a little crazy when I give an assignment and kids sit down and they just start like pounding out an answer without actually being thoughtful of these things first. So if you're just writing without knowing why you're writing or what your point is, it's going to just be a long, tangled mess at the end. And so sometimes people do that just to kind of like clear out the gunk of their minds and they end up deleting the first page of whatever they wrote because then they finally get to what it is. But you also can do that strategically and save yourself all that time and the heartache of deleting your precious words by setting out a plan. Then you're going to organize that research, organize your thoughts and figure out what's the best structure to reach your audience. I encourage you, if you're doing a research base or an argument paper, that I encourage you to be strategic about how you organize your points. And you want to end with the strongest one. It's sort of a knockout punch. We talked about this in argument writing a few months back, really. So I'll put the link down in the description bar for that, for argument writing. But really, what is going to be the most effective order of events? And if it's creative writing, you're going to use one of those storytelling arcs that we talked about last week and put the climactic moment in the place that's going to have the most impact for your audience. Then it's right. The W, you just got to get the words down. You got to write it. You got to force yourself. You got to fight against resistance and you got to do the work. So you're going to write and write and write and get it down. And don't judge yourself. If you've done the planning and the organizing, you're really just fleshing out that skeleton that you've built, and that's good. It won't be great. You're going to have time to make it great later on the edit round, but really, this is just the getting it out, getting it down and connecting all those dots and putting it on the page. So try to get out of your head. Sometimes kids, they want to stop and edit, sentence by sentence, and they never get into the flow of writing. You've just got to do the writing. So get the writing done. And then for the E, we get into the editing. That's when you go back and you look for all those little mistakes. You add in your citations. It could be bigger things, like maybe in the editing, you realize that you have you use a logical fallacy, and you want to go back and fix that. Yes, that's what the editing round is for. And one of the best tools to help you make a strong paper are your peers. People who you respect, have them take a look at your paper. I am a grown-up, but I still work as an editor for my friend Irene, who is a romance writer, and she has her drafts done, but she needs to know where the plot holes are. She needs to know what, characterization pieces are missing. And yeah, eventually we'll line edit it too, and we'll look for those tiny grammatical mistakes, because if you have a trusted friend, that can be really, really helpful for you. For you in school, that's going to be classmates, right? You know who are the sharp kids in the class. Go find those folks and have them give eyes on your paper and feedback to you. And then the last letter in our acronym is R, is for revise. You got to get comfortable with the idea that a work is continuing to change and be improved until your deadline hits. You can always do something to make it better. There's another point you can add. There's a better element of research. There's, a character's loose end that needs to be tied up if you're writing fiction. Whatever it is, you're going to just revise until your deadline hits. And that might be, hey, your paper's due in class on Friday, or it might be a self-imposed deadline. You are going to finish this by, I don't know, by May 1, you're going to have this thing written and you're going to work on it until then, and then that's what it's going to be. So whatever you need to do, whatever type of writing, the power play is a good one. If this is useful and you want a copy of these slides, I actually have a slightly modified version over on my blog. I'll put the link down below to the PDF. I actually did it on a white background so you could print it on any colored paper you want. It could be visual notes for you, or if I have teachers who are listening to the channel, You can use it as classroom decoration. Again, Cam Milson deserves all the credit for this. She said we could share it here and like help you guys do cool stuff with it. And the poster set I did on a clear background instead of a black background because black ink just eats up all the ink in your cartridge. So anyway, if you want that, that's there in the video description bar. Okay, that is it for this Friday. I hope you guys had a great week. I'll be back on Monday with grammar work, Wednesday on vocab work, and then next Friday, always a little drop of awesomeness here on the YouTube channel. All right, you guys, that is it for me. I will see you on Monday.